morning, everyone. This is Spook, and we're live with the 8-Bit Adventure Anthology. These are the original Shadowgate, Deja Vu, and the Uninvited. I'm going to play through them since I'm basically going with 100% a priori knowledge here. I've played all these before back in the day. I love them. Now these are emulating the NES versions on the PS4, partially because I'm lazy. Now I don't know what the original release order, because this is better known as the MacVenture trilogy, and they, of course, were originally released on the Mac, but I think the definitive version is the Nintendo one. So we're going to start with the Uninvited, which is one of my favorites of the group. Now I think we have some visual options here. Let's go with the CRT filter. Okay. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna see how long I can narrate this before I get sick of it. Look out! The last thing you remember before blacking out was a shadowy figure appearing in the road in front of you. You heard your sister cry out as you swerved the car into the tree. You realize that you are alone. Your sister must have gone for help. The smell of gasoline fills the air. You must have punctured the tank. You pry yourself free of the steering wheel, intent on finding your sister. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. If you screw around in this car, you die. So we're going to shove the door open and exit the car. An explosion erupts behind you as your car bursts into flames. At least it'll save you the cost of a tow. Yeah. You find yourself standing in front of an old mansion. It gives you the creeps. Okay, so of course this door doesn't open, as you would hope it would. You've got some typical statues here. So we'll of course read someone's mail and commit a federal crime. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the pendant, because that's a pretty key item here. I mean, there's basically two kinds of items in a game like this. Oh, you pick up a pendant and it begins to sparkle. Then, the door of the mansion opens and dares you to enter. Dare you! I dare you! Could your sister be in there? Well, we're going down this railroad, so I'm guessing yes. So of course we'll have a look at the letter. Oh, I guess I can't open it, I have to examine it to read it. Go figure. The note reads, Dear Master, please forgive me. My health prevents me from aiding you in your battle against the evil Drakan. You teach your students well, they become too powerful for their own good. Enclosed is an amulet that should look familiar. Wears this charm and think of me. The undead will surely fear it. Still thee, my friend, set free for the sake of the family. Sure. Fare thee well. Okay, so we have no idea who that letter is from, but clearly they had something to do with the plot, and they're giving me a magical pendant. Okay, so we've got a couple doors here, and we're just going to have a look at this couch. The couch looks soft. You feel something hard sewn into it. So let's have a look in this room here. Okay, so we've got kind of the library here, and the only thing of import is this book. When you open it and examine it to read it, you learn several spells about magic in general. Magic is not good nor bad. If it is used properly, good may result from it. If it is not used properly, terrible things can happen. What follows are a few magical spells. From nothing it shall form, and none shall see thee, Claudici. This one is useless. Awake to a sleep, movement still, 6 legs or more bent to your will, Stellini. This one is practically useless. If the path is barred with more than one, the storm to come to make them run. Fundide. This one is a key item. From here to there, when stone walls impair, telemaze. Not necessary, but useful. Because the, you memorize the magic words. Ah! Magic book disappeared. Okay, so there's really only one key item in there, but, and one very useful one that's useful enough that it should be considered a key item. So we're gonna go right in here. And we're going to see kind of a main hallway, and this is kind of a central area to the mansion, but you know what? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go upstairs and check everything out in here. First off, Pride Month's over, so I guess we go back into the closet. At least that's what they want us to do. Okay, so up here we have a bottle. Cap bottle's label reads, "No ghost. When you want the dead guests to return to their world." It's pretty clear what that's for. Killing ghosts. Now, there's another one here that is also useful. Pesticide is not. Spider cider. The instructions read, knocks out arachnids and has been proven effective by leading entomologists. Okay, so that one is also useful for dealing with a spider. Now, everything else in here is useless. I don't even think this bowl is necessary. Yeah. There are no laundry machines in the entire building, so of course there's no reason for the detergent. And I believe there's nothing of interest. Now, if this were Shadowgate, the broom would have a use, but this is not Shadowgate. We'll be playing that next. Okay, so this axe is useful, but the next room above is just a prison cell, and if I were to open that door and wander in, I would die. You just sit there and starve to death, and that's it. So we have the only thing we needed from there. So I guess I should mention 10 minutes in that this is 100% spoilerific. Now, this room... Okay, in the original game, if you didn't complete the game in time, you would go mad, die, and join the evil spirits of the mansion, and they replaced that with one of the most subtle traps I've ever seen in a game. If you open this, you see this ruby. And being a typical kleptomaniac, as you are in a game like this, it's a large blood-red ruby. You feel some sort of strange power running through it. If you take that, the game slowly kills you. And it's one of those things that I did not realize was happening. It was such a subtle trap that somebody had to tell me it was there. Okay, so this book, I don't remember if this is useful. Open the diary. This diary reads, "My star is gone, but not lost. Master's servant will pay for his betrayal. The vehicle of my power has not yet served its purpose. When it sets me free, I will have the chance to realize my unlimited potential. The forces of the technological society will be unprepared for the likes of me. I will not be denied. My victory is inevitable. Yada, yada, yada." Okay, so we get some words from the villain. Inside the table, we have a scroll, which I think we have to open and then examine. Dal wilt thou lead the lost. Okay, that is another key item, or spell. Okay, so we're going to leave that alone. And there's no need to go into that room in the back, which is one of those weird, you know, Nintendo-censored bathrooms. So you have a bathtub, and a sink, but no toilet. Because in the Nintendo-sanctioned world, nobody poops. Or else. Okay, so we've got another book here, Diary 2. This diary reads, "I have lost control of Drakan. My star student now fancies himself a master. Though his power is strong, his spirit is weak. He is easily corrupted by the dark spirits of greed and power. My servant, more aware than I, sealed his star in my hingeless box. They're locked away beyond his stare. I've hidden the key, the chair knows where." Boy, if you can't figure that one out. I believe this door is locked. Yep. Ah, yes. The bathroom where nobody poops. Now, I don't believe anything in here was even remotely useful. Orange liquid. Blue liquid. Oh, you let out a startled scream at the sight of your own reflection. That happens to me a lot. You wouldn't want to be caught dead looking like this. Yes, so make sure you don't die. I took some time to look at the achievements for this game, and literally all of them are for dying. So let's come back down to the main floor and attempt to investigate, and you get a strange woman. She is dressed like Scarlett O'Hara, which is certainly a decision. And this is pretty straightforward. We're just going to pour stuff on this innocent woman who hasn't done anything wrong. Oops. Although she did own a plantation. Yeah, and there she goes. Ghost successfully busted. You pour the foul-smelling liquid on the bell. She lets out a horrifying scream as she begins to melt away. Well, there you have it. That was the first actual threat in the game. First really visible one, and it's fairly easily dealt with. Okay, you've got this nice little parlor with some flowers and a big old chair. And of course, in here we see a nice little veranda. From here you have a splendid view of the desolate estate. A large black spider quickly runs by you along the railing. Hey guys, how you doing? So of course, what we're going to do here is we'll use the spider cider. The railing is sticky, and not for fun reasons. Once again, spider animation plays. And there we go. Now we have our own spider. Just what I always wanted. Okay, so these two rooms we're coming up to are kind of joined in a weird way. Okay, now, I believe this cabinet is locked. Yep. We've got some portraits here. The scientific name for this painting must be Ugliest Maximus. You know, I think that might be a joke name, like Biggest Dickus. The man in the painting gives you a penetrating stare. He seems almost alive. Now, this is a fun little reference. Right here, this, I don't know what this is actually called. Maybe they have a name for it? Oh, it's a gramophone. Okay, so until now, you'd only seen a gramophone in the movies. Okay. And of course, this is the theme music from Shadowgate. Badly, badly rendered. Snap! You hear something break, and the music grinds to a halt. Well, guess I broke it. Okay, so let's check these other rooms out. Let's take the room on the right, see what we have here. So we've got kind of a dining room here. The bouquet of flowers is actually a key item. And I believe this leads to the kitchen? Maybe? Yes. Oh wait, that's not the cookie jar that is actually important here. So let's, okay, so I'll take a knife, and I'm actually going to try smashing the cookie jar, but I don't think it's the one I need. I think it's the one in the safe later. Well, breaking things is awesome. Alright, let's see if there's anything in here. That is a no. Okay, so I believe over here we have a pantry. And I honestly do not recall if there's anything useful. Oh, there's a box of matches. I'm always down to set things on fire, so let's take that with us. Oh, excuse me. Whoever had occupied this room must have been satisfied with small accommodations. The lack of dust tells you that this room is the servants' quarters. Oh, this... okay, I got it all wrong. So, let's have a look in here. Nothing. This painting looks like Picasso's rendering of the Twilight Zone's title shot. Okay, that is something I would now like to see. You find a mark on the wall. It may have been made by the picture sliding sideways. Of course, I don't think you can directly open it. But... with a click, you turn on the floor lamp. It seems that there is a book set inside the wall. And a ghost. Suddenly, a spirit covered in chains stands before you. This is my room. Who let you in here? Trakan must have sent you. You cannot have it. You cannot have my precious. I have hidden it. No, you must leave. Leave me in. My precious. Alone. Yes, all alone. I have a better idea. How about I throw a spider at you? You wheel back and throw the unconscious spider at the ghost. The ghost shrieks at the sight of the stunned spider. Flustered and frightened, the spirit dissolves from view. Now, I actually do not know what hint in the game would actually tell you to do that. Open the Diary 3. This diary reads, "The Master would not, or could not, so I have stolen Trakan's star. He is an evil soul. Unlike the Master, he uses his power for amusement and profit. He is not concerned with spiritual enlightenment. There is no compassion with his power. I grow weak. I am dying. I've hidden the star in Master's special box. It never opens. It has no locks. Trakan's star never discerns. In fire it freezes, in ice it burns." Okay. So that's really just a plot point there, and it's kind of giving a hint about the box that I may have forgotten somewhere. Anyway, let's pop this last door, and I think that's going to lead to the backyard. Oh, no, the office. Okay, now I believe this card is useful for the endgame. Yep. Okay, so that's actually important. Strictly speaking, if you're speedrunning, you would not need it. Because you already know the combo to the safe, but, you know, there's things to put together. So we'll hold on to the card anyway. Oh, this goes back into the main room. Or back into the hallway. So now that we have ourselves a nice little knife, there we go. Now, one thing about this game that threw me off and stalled me for a long time is any single key may have multiple uses. And that's... and then there's this guy. You now have to question the reliability of your eyes. You think you see a somewhat cute, abstract creature with a key in its hand prance by. Okay, so what I'm going to do here... and there's the slur doll. So we're gonna head back into the I don't know why I took this route, but anyway, we're gonna head upstairs and use this key. And I think it's this room? Yeah, that door in the back. Here we go. Okay, so let's take the box. And I don't remember if these scrolls are useful or not. It reads gold, silver, and mercury. Together they form a key. So that's an important hint. The scroll reads, The heart of the garden maze contains the Botany gem. Sure. It is guarded by he who moves as the moon. That makes literally no sense at all. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the scroll, and we've got the box we needed, which is the one that the star is said to be hidden in. So what we're going to do here is set something on fire. Like all the cool kids. Okay, and then there's no way to open it, so we're going to throw the box in the fireplace. And then clouds of smoke billow from the fireplace. The light reflects off the star with blinding radiance. It must have been inside the box. Yep. So this is, again, a key item. It's pretty much for the very end of the game. So I think this is the... No, I gotta go back to the game room. This room must be some sort of trophy room. You feel sorry for the animals that were killed only for sport. I mean, not really. So we're gonna take the cage, because that's gonna be kind of important. It's a large stuffed white bear. It would look better in the Antarctic. The skin of this large jungle cat has been made into a throw rug. What a waste. I don't know, maybe it wanted to be a throw rug. Did you ask it? This moose head is really quite large. So, my stepdad has a room at his place called the Dead Animal Room, where he takes, he's got taxidermied heads of various animals that he's killed, and he's got them all mounted on the walls, and it's this two-story room that's got kind of an odd shape to it, but like if you're in the bottom and you look up, you've just got all these animal heads looking at you. It's kind of odd. Kind of fun. Okay, so we've got these three buildings, and this is actually fairly close to the end of the game. I didn't even realize how short this was when you already know where everything is. Okay, so we're going to need that faucet, and let's step into the greenhouse. So take a watering can, and we're gonna show off our green thumb here. Water streams from the can into the hardened, cracked soil. A tiny sprout has pushed its nose out of the dry dirt. I think we're out of water. But we still have some, so let's go ahead and use it again. Okay. I feel like I'm playing Stardew Valley all over again. So we refill the watering can and we use it one more time on the potted plant. So we're going to take this fruit for later. Now this building on the right seems misplaced, but as you approach the building you see it is guarded by two menacing dogs. Dogs, you say to yourself, why did it have to be dogs? I don't know, because you were trying to force an Indiana Jones reference? So, we're going to go ahead and use Thunder Day here, which I'm going to go ahead and reread it. If the path is barred by more than one, the storm to come to make them run. So, you shouted Thunder Day as loudly as possible. Suddenly lightning begins to flash and you hear a loud peal of thunder. At this, the dogs recoil, they put their tails between their legs and scamper away. The door is now unguarded. Okay. You stand in solemn awe at this abandoned house of worship. In this Anyway, you feel the presence of long-dead worshippers. So I'm going to do something here. First off, we're going to light these candles and take them with us. Those are pretty necessary. It's a marble bowl filled with celestial water. I guess they didn't want to say holy water. Take the goblet, and as you fill the goblet, you see the altar move to the side. Wow, you found a secret passage that leads to certain death. Okay, anyway. So we're going to go over here to our list of spells. You shout Dal Dal as loudly as possible. A weird voice emerges from the doll's lips. Talk to my pious brother. He can help you find your sister. A word from him can open doors in high places. You memorize the magic words. Open Sesame. So, we're going to go ahead. You shout Open Sesame as loudly as possible. The marble bust speaks. It knows these words. Let the door be opened for this poor strayed lamb, but he must not travel in darkness. As soon as the statue stops speaking, the door opens. So, he must not travel in darkness is actually why I took those candles, because there's a ghost. You step into a large yard. You can see a stone maze in the distance. Oh no, a ghost. A horrifying apparition in the shape of a classic ghost swoops down upon you like a bird of prey. No longer interested. The thing is offended by the flames and flies off to its supernatural home. So this part is where telemaze is useful, but only because it gets you out. I do not remember how the maze is laid out, and the messages about move this direction, I don't remember precisely. I think it means you're facing west. I'm sure there's a guide somewhere that lays out how to get where. Shit. Okay, so let's head... Honestly, for as much as I otherwise like this game, I feel this maze is just flat-out padding. Ah! It's a group of zombies. You notice that parts of their bodies are missing. You can also smell the stench of decaying flesh. Let's not be here anymore. It's a tombstone. Luckily your name hasn't been carved into it. Well, I mean, that would show a lot of foresight, to be honest. A zombie stands before you. There's no doubt in your mind that this creature is undead. Well, when it said the undead will surely fear this pendant, they were not kidding. A mysterious light suddenly shoots out of the pendant. The zombie is blasted right in the face. A blue nimbus engulfs the body of the zombie, and with a flash disappears. Okay, so let's keep going. It's a marble coffin. You realize with sadness that one day you too shall die. Let's hope it's not sooner than you think. No, I'm fine. I mean, I've had my issues, but... Here we go. You see tombstone that has been carved quite differently from the others. On the tombstone are the words "a rose is but a rose." Well, let's have a look here. It's a bouquet of flowers. Oh, it would look good on a tombstone. I didn't realize that hint was there. As a gesture of kindness, you put the bouquet at the foot of the headstone. Okay. So this is another use of key 1, which is a little obtuse. Click, the cage is unlocked. Suddenly something jumps out of the cages. 3 animals jump out of the cages. They are confused by their freedom and new surroundings. So you essentially get one action here. And this is one of those classic problems, but the solution here is you take the bird, you grab the hawk and bird in the cage. Suddenly the snake attacks the cat. It's amazingly fast. The snake's middle quickly swells up. Okay. This is like that one where you have like a wolf, a chicken, and something else crossing a river. I don't remember exactly how it worked. And then there's this thing. Just a killer tomato hanging out in a stone maze. Before your eyes, the biggest, strangest creature you've ever seen. It bounces up and down. There's some kind of jewel behind it. So, this is actually fairly easy to do. Oh. You don't use the cage, you open the cage. I always get my verbs messed up. Okay. So the bird flies away, and this thing chases it. The strange creature was utterly fascinated by the bird. It gave chase to eat it. Well, there we go. Okay, so this is the only thing we came into the maze for. The jewel. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make our last use of any spell in this entire game and use Telemaze to get the fuck out of here. Now, there's a reference to Deja Vu. Whoops. Anyway, sorry, there's a reference to Deja Vu in there. You find a tombstone that says, here lies Ace Harding. And it says, well, the name seems familiar, but you can't remember why. Well, Ace Harding is the protagonist of Deja Vu, and he starts the game with a case of amnesia. That, of course, is given to him. But, you know, these things happen. Alright, so that gem... Jeez. Suddenly the gem begins sending off sparks. You get the feeling that the silver orbs have something to do with this. Voila! The door opens. Okay, so this building only has one thing that we care about in it. Oh, then there's this asshole. As soon as you enter the room, you are shocked to discover a floating blue creature. It seems to be some sort of guardian. You hear it hiss something about food. Well. Would you like a nice, delicious fruit? Suddenly, the strange creature's hungry eyes light up. It attacks the fruit and swallows it down with one gulp. Satisfied, the hideous creature belches and disappears. Okay, so there's only 2 rooms of relevance in here. I don't even think this door can open. Yeah, it's locked. I don't think you ever find a key for that one. And this room. This room is dominated by a huge telescope. Yep. Yeah, the language of this text is indecipherable. Okay. There is literally nothing useful in there. So we're gonna go in here. This looks like Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory. You wonder what kind of experiments were performed in here. Okay, so we're going to take a moment and read something. Gold, silver, and mercury, together they form a key. Alright. And then... So... 794780. Oh, I have to... Okay. There's very little flexibility with the verbs here. Okay. Whoops. Okay, hold on a second. I think I did it wrong. I mean, I know I did it wrong, but... Gold, silver, then mercury. Oh, there's the card. $794,780. There we go. Okay. So let's smash this cookie jar. And both the axe and the cookie jar shatter into pieces. That's one hell of a cookie jar. You're right, there was a cookie in the jar. Okay, so we're gonna venture into the mansion for 1 hot minute. Oh, you know, I bet I can leave a bunch of inventory there. Okay, let's leave a cookie for the monster that is legally distinct from Cookie Monster. You set the cookie on the plate. Do-do-do. The creature finally stops running. He grabs the waiting cookie and quickly runs away. In his haste, he leaves the key which he had carried with him. Alright. Huh, interesting. I mean, I no longer need this. Or this. No. Anyway, doesn't really matter. There's only like 3 items we use at any point. Okay. Oh, whoops. I gotta use the key. Okay, and this is pretty much the end game here. Oof. With a thud, you land on the floor of this cave. You notice that there's about 5 inches of tar on the ground. Okay. You stand in a section of ice that is mysteriously frozen. An acrid mist rises from the frozen sludge of the cave mouth. The misty tendrils form themselves into a robed human figure. He says, "You've come. That's personal. I've been waiting for you. Please listen to me. Long ago, I dueled with my disciple Drakan in this place. I can find him here in the ice, but his power was too much for me. I am now forever locked in this dimension, with only the ability to project my image into this cave. I ask a favor of you, my son. Wait, hold on. Send the sleeping Drakan in the ice away into the dark world." With that, the old man disappears. Okay, so, as they explained, in Fire the Star Burns. So we're going to go ahead and pitch that one in. With a shout, you throw the brass star into the ice. Hey! Just gonna bounce by you right here. Suddenly, a flaming apparition appears. Steam bursts from the ice as it rapidly melts. The melting ice creates a flow of water that rushes into the next cave. Blub, blub, blub. The current sweeps a human figure from within the ice into the next cave. Suddenly the old man reappears. Hurry, before he can awake, you must eject him into the dark world. Do as I request. With that, he again disappears. The current suddenly pulls you under, and you are swept away. Sputtering, you stand up in the water and notice that you are in a very small cave. Okay, so, what would you like to use this on? His moan echoes for quite some time, gradually fading. He's done. Very dead. Okay, and I think this one is opened with key 2. Yeah. As you enter the room, the door slams shut behind you. You hear your sister's voice crying out. It sounds like it's coming from above you. Suddenly, the screaming stops. Well, guess she's dead. Help! It's your sister's voice. It sounds closer than before. Your sister must be on this floor somewhere. You must be getting close. It seems to be an ordinary bedroom. You feel very, very weak. Pressure begins to bear down on you. This bathroom is cold and dark. You notice that there is no toilet. As you enter the bathroom, the door slams shut behind you. Your sister's screams are definitely loud in here. It almost seems as if she is on top of you. Well, guess I'm just gonna drown myself in the bathtub. The water in the bathtub now begins to overflow. The tub begins to fill rapidly. The drain doesn't appear to be working correctly. You begin to panic as you realize the water won't shut off. Some uncontrollable force is in control. The water is really getting deep. Too bad you didn't bring your rubber duck. Yeah, I don't think that's going to help there, buddy. It's too high for you to reach it. The water continues flowing, flooding the bathroom. It's too high. The water continues flowing. Bubbling, the water level rises. Your head is almost touching the ceiling. If the water level goes any higher, you're in deep trouble. You did it! It's open! You wonder what is on the other side. Well, I guess I'm just a chicken that crossed a road here. You come out into the attic. It's your big sister. At last you found her. She seems to be ignoring you. Okay. After all this way, I think I'm gonna slap her stupid. You slap your sister? Suddenly a horrible spirit comes out of your sister's body and screeches at you. The thing begins to speak in a low rattle.
This little one is too weak for me. I need a new blood and a stronger body.
Okay, yep. Typical villain nonsense. Your sister escapes out the window. He's just sitting there bugging out. In horror, your sister gets up. Your sister shakes her head, gets up, and jumps out the window. Now that's safe, it's time to deal with you. You shout at the undead nightmare. Well, nobody said he was undead. I think it's just a demon. And we'll use a goblet full of holy water. Oh god, that's so corny. The hideous creature screams in pain at the touch of the water. In an instant, the menacing apparition fades into nothingness, leaving no tangible evidence of his having been there. Okay, that's a win. You climb through the window out onto the balcony. You are surprised that the air is so mild. In fact, a warm, pleasant breeze wafts past. A bright, warm sun begins to shine through the clouds. A unicorn is seen in the distance, dancing under a rainbow. Then you see your sister. You're okay, you shout as you hug her. Of course I am, silly. I just went into this creepy-ass house a couple of minutes ago. At least it seemed like a couple of minutes ago. I guess I fell asleep. Boy, what a nightmare I had. I was possessed by a demon. You hug your sister again, thinking heaven about why? They didn't do anything. It was all your own work. Your sister is now herself again. You are aware of a sense of peace and triumph. It was a nightmare, wasn't it? She asks hesitantly. You see fear in her eyes. With a smile, you reply, of course it was. Just a real bad dream. Let's go home, you say, and your sister, you step into the warm, golden glow of the summer sun without a car, and you don't know where you are. So this is going to be just fine. I mean, you don't even have a wreck to tow. Your car just bursts into flames. Also, you just ransacked a house of somebody you had no quarrel with. I mean, yeah, he allegedly stole your sister, but she could have just wandered in. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let those credits run. And then we're gonna move on to Shadowgate.